thank you, everyone. I hope I get a chance to thank all of you for being here at some point today. I don't want to keep you too long, but this is what I'm trying to do feels very important to our city on a number of levels, and I'll speak to that here. But thank you so much for being here. Today I am joined by representatives from the Governor's Office of Economic Development, the Economic Development Corporation of Utah, World Trade Center, Utah, the Salt Lake Chamber of Commerce, the Downtown Alliance, and Visit Salt Lake, educators from the University of Utah, Westminster College, and Salt Lake Community College, innovators of our startup culture from Holodeck, representatives of iconic city businesses like Squatters, Pubs and Beers, and major corporations like Goldman Sachs and Zions Bank, community members from Local First Utah, the Arts Council, and the Business Advisory Board, and leaders representing our city's multicultural businesses from the Asian, African American, Hispanic, and Pacific Islander Chamber of Commerce, and small business owners and council member Derek Kitchen. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for coming. You'll be hearing from some of those who are here to be with us today in just a few minutes. But I wanted to start by saying we are gathered here today to launch the nationwide search for the new Business and Economic Development Director position. This is a key position for our city and for my cabinet, which is reflected by those who have joined me here today. Salt Lake City's economy is strong. We enjoy one of the nation's lowest rates of unemployment, and our near and long-term job growth prospects are expected to outpace the national average. We are consistently ranked as one of the most business-friendly cities. Our workforce is diverse, well-educated, and often multilingual. We have over 15,000 businesses in our city, which generate more than $60 million in revenue that helps pay for parks, arts, public safety, roads, lighting, snow removal, and more. And there is still opportunity, but make no mistake about it, there is competition. To stay competitive in a global economy, Salt Lake City must develop a strong strategic economic development plan, and we must develop an economic identity. It will be critical for us to work together in the development of our economy. As I said in my State of the City address, a first step will be evaluating the Economic Development Division and turning it into a department, a move necessary to ensure the person we are searching for now has the capital to align our city agencies from the airport and the RDA and our arts and business communities. All of us here today will do what we can to ensure the person we select as Salt Lake City's new Business and Economic Development Director has the tools necessary to succeed. Salt Lake City is a unique place, and we are looking for a uniquely qualified individual to lead. An individual who can work collaboratively with key stakeholders, including the City Council and government officials, economic and ethnically diverse constituents, city employees, and leaders from local business, arts, and religious communities. An individual who recognizes and adheres to the values of Salt Lake City. We are an arts culture. We are diverse. We hold ourselves accountable. We are civically engaged, and we care about the environment, our neighbors, and our families. We have a pioneering spirit of entrepreneurialism, and we are looking for another pioneer to join our team. Now I will go and to our next speaker, who is Derek Kitchen, and give you a few minutes to talk on behalf of the council. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you for the opportunity for having me here today to talk about something that is critical and important to the future of all of us, something that is multi-generational. Salt Lake City is the economic engine of Utah. It has the state's three largest job centers: downtown, the University of Utah, and the airport area. The City Council is dedicated to building on this base. The Council is pleased to be launching an audit initiated by last year's Council to examine the city's current building permitting and inspection programs, identifying opportunities to streamline and improve these services. We're thrilled that the Mayor will be joining us in shaping this audit and moving it forward. The Council identified economic development as one of its three principal priorities for action this year. Developing and implementing a citywide strategic economic development plan was a unanimous choice for all council members. This will build on powerful efforts like the Enterprise SLC memorandum that was headed by Natalie Gochner here, which will really kick us off in a really strong foot. So thank you, Natalie. As a small business owner myself, I have heard time and again from my colleagues in the small business community that our systems need to improve. Input from local businesses will be important in measuring our success in economic development. Now it's time to advance these ideas under the leadership of a new mayor. The Council will carefully consider a number of budget, policy, and ordinance issues in the coming months as we continue to work on economic development. It's an exciting time in Salt Lake City. Our downtown and many other business districts, both large and small, are bustling. We're moving forward. We have the momentum, and now is our opportunity. We're excited to work together to make Salt Lake City even greater, because Salt Lake City belongs to all of Utah. Thank you very much. I'd now like to introduce Val Hill, who is the Executive Director of GoEd, and Jeff Edwards, who's the President of Economic Development Corporation of Utah.
Go ahead. About a year ago, I met with then candidate Biskupski to talk about economic development in Salt Lake City. I was very impressed with her passion for and commitment to economic development. And now that she's mayor, I have no doubt that this new position will have her full support, and it will be a priority here in the city, which I think is going to be a great thing, not just for the city, but for the entire state. As has been mentioned, Salt Lake City is the capital city. It is the city that many people focus on when they talk about Utah. So, Mayor, congratulations on this. We're excited to see who you end up choosing, and we're excited to work with them in our office. And we pledge our support and full commitment to try to make Salt Lake City be one of the most favorable cities in the country for business and economic development.
Well, as the mayor said, my name is Jeff Edwards with Economic Development Corporation of Utah, and if you know about our mission, that is to bring new jobs and capital investment to our entire state. Salt Lake City was a founding member of our organization over 30 years ago, and we could not be in the position that we are today with the amazing success as a state without the city's longtime support of economic development efforts. As Val stated just a few minutes ago, the entire state benefits from a dynamic and strong capital city. Regardless of where you are in this state, having a strong capital city is essential to that. And I really applaud the mayor for making this important move to return the economic development to the cabinet level and to get the attention that it deserves inside the mayor's office, inside of city government. I think with this move, Salt Lake City can become an engaged and a responsive part of the economic development community, very much part of the conversation, a trusted regional partner, and real true thought leaders in economic development. And I think I've seen that in the mayor already, and I'm really anxious to see that move forward with this new person. It will help us seek and actually bring the talent and the talented people that we need to grow our economy as a state. And we stand ready and pledge, along with the governor's office, to recruit the right kinds of companies and help grow Salt Lake City's economy, and at the same time helping our state to prosper. Thanks very much.
So Jason, please. Thank you.
That's okay. I'm happy to introduce myself, Jeff. It happens. My name's Jason Mathis, and I'm the Executive Director of Salt Lake City's Downtown Alliance and the Executive Vice President of the Salt Lake Chamber. Speaking on behalf of the Chamber and the 7,500 businesses we represent throughout the state, we want to say how pleased we are that we are focusing so much on economic development. It probably will not surprise you that a Chamber of Commerce would be excited about a focus on economic development. Salt Lake City is in a great spot, as Mayor Biskupski said, and yet we know that we can do better, that we can absolutely improve the economic climate, that we can make it easier for businesses to succeed in our community, and we are very, very pleased about this direction and the decision to put economic development at a cabinet level place in Mayor Biskupski's cabinet, and we're excited to see what happens and what the future holds. And we pledge our support to help work closely with this new department and this new employee to help ensure success for Utah's capital city. Thanks very much. And it is now my pleasure to introduce James Jackson III, the board chairman of the Utah African American Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Jason. It's indeed exciting about this new opportunity that's coming into Salt Lake City. Since the Utah African American Chamber of Commerce inception back in 2009, we've actually seen the Utah African American population nearly double to today. It's not just because of jobs are here, but we're also discovering new businesses that are coming in, and we're providing the resources and opportunities to help them grow and succeed. But we know that there is definitely more work that can be done. And so we're excited to be a part of this and see how the new Economic Development Director can increase the diversity as it's becoming a growing trend within the state of Utah overall. Now you see more and more diversity coming here. So we're definitely excited, and hopefully that looking forward to the new direction that we have within the economic development. So now I'll introduce Judy Cullen, Marketing Director of Squatters and Wasatch Brewery.
Thank you, James, and thank you, Mayor Biskupski, for inviting me to speak today. Having been in business in Salt Lake City since 1989 with the opening of Squatters Brew Pub, we've seen tremendous change in our city and also the associated successes and challenges that have come with those changes. And we recognize the importance of a strong relationship between Salt Lake City government and local businesses as the driver of our economy. Because we as a company understand the value of a sustainable economic vitality, we are 100% behind the mayor's plan to elevate the Division of Economic Development to a cabinet department, and for the mayor to conduct a search for the right individual who will help lead us into the future. We greatly appreciate the mayor's desire and vision to develop a long-term strategic plan that will foster continued energy, innovation, and business growth in Salt Lake City, and we really look forward to working with the mayor, the department, and the new director. So thank you, Mayor, for taking this very large step, and we look forward to the future.
Thank you.
And I'd like to now introduce Denise Huftelen, who is the president of Salt Lake Community College.
So good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you this afternoon, and a pleasure to stand with Mayor Biskupski as the president of Salt Lake Community College to talk about the importance of this position. Whether you know it or not, Salt Lake Community College has 10 sites across Salt Lake County, and 5 of those sites reside within Salt Lake City. So the importance of education and relevant training for everything from fashion design to diesel technology to business to aviation to aerospace, Salt Lake Community College is committed to training those students in a responsive, affordable, and accessible way. And as soon as she was announced as mayor, Mayor Biskupski reached out to me as president to say, how do we partner even better to get an educated workforce and to make sure that they stay in Utah and can contribute to the quality of life here and to the qualities of our community and to the economy. So Salt Lake Community College is thrilled to be part of this announcement and to stand with the mayor to say to a new director of economic development, how do we partner with you? How can Salt Lake Community College best align our education and training to meet the needs of what our industry partners need and to do so in a really affordable way? It's a delight for us to be with the mayor today in this announcement and with you all. And with that, I'd like to introduce Natalie Gochner, the Associate Dean in the David Eccles School of Business and the Director of the Kem Gardner Policy Institute at the University of Utah.
I'm very pleased to add my voice to the decision today to do a national search to bring in economic leadership to our state. Last year, I was privileged at the Eccles School to help Salt Lake City with an inventory of what was happening in economic development, something called Enterprise SLC. And during that process, I talked to over 70 business and community leaders about the city. And I really learned two main things. One is the incredible promise of this city, the ability of this city to have a very prosperous future. And then secondly, the need for this city to provide statewide economic leadership. And that is to understand that Salt Lake City holds a privileged place in our state. As the capital city, it is the center for commerce, the center for transportation, the center for finance, and it has remarkable education assets like Salt Lake Community College and a Pac-12 University of Utah. I'm wearing red today. And how do you take those assets and deploy them for the benefit of this entire state? I'll just add one other very important asset. It's a global city, an international city. And in doing that, by making this a cabinet-level position that reports directly to the mayor, you elevate the stature of economic leadership in the city, and by doing so, I think we will help the entire state. So I want to commend Mayor Biskupski for her leadership in this regard, and I also just want to make one small pitch to not let the process take too long. And I say that because this is a city on the rise, and we're ready for that leadership right now. Thank you very much.
Again, thank you everyone for being here. I'm happy to take questions, and I'm sure others are as well, but I don't know that we need to be so formal.
How much are you going to pay this individual, and will that salary level impede recruiting the best candidates?
You know, we have not landed on a dollar yet. That will be decided, and this position will be posted this week. We are hoping that we can offer up enough money to really recruit someone significant into this role, and realizing the task at hand is pretty significant. Our department needs to be developed in a very diverse fashion. I believe we need to incorporate leadership within this new department that will include international trade, small business support, and advocacy. I think there is a lot of work to be done just in the developing of our new department. So hopefully we will be able to show up with the dollars that will be needed. Last question.
It's unusual to have this type of job announcement. Mm-hmm. And so, and with all these wonderful folks here, is this really a signal to the residents that this is a paradigm shift in the way that you intend to go about economic development?
Absolutely it is. There's a real shift here. As a legislator, I was very focused on our state economy. I served on economic development appropriations for 13 years on Capitol Hill. I understand the extreme importance that our capital city plays in our economy and the importance that we actually step up to the plate in a much higher fashion than we have in the past and take our role extremely serious in building a strong economy, not just in our city, but for the state. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you again for coming. I appreciate the support. Thank you.